Do you think then that the opposition political party will be correct to say that you're using the agencies of state to hunt political enemies?
If you use the agencies of state to hunt political enemies, it's also against the concept of the rule of law.
Exactly.
You cannot you cannot use the agencies of government. It's abuse. It is in itself corruption. But you have to prove it. If the charges are coming from outer space, it is true. But if these charges are true, clean yourself first and then tell them, okay, now that I'm clean and I've been proved to be innocent, now go after this man because I have these charges against him. But if you say because they charged me, I will not answer to my charges because another person is guilty, it's a very puerile and even juvenile game in which you are saying that who goes first?
But how do you see this getting resolved? As my colleagues have several times pointed out, we're supposed to be expecting ministers this month. The economy is still in a dire situation. Quite a number of things need to be resolved, even in this particular case now. The fact that there is no sitting Attorney General or standing Attorney General is also being pointed to.
Or even crouching Attorney General.
Whichever position the Attorney General wants to take is not available, it's not there.
Yes.
And these are some of the loopholes, that could be exploited whether or not we like it in our country as it stands. We cannot do these things without the Senate. How do you see this getting resolved?
Well, the Senate must understand that it is not put there to pursue private and clannish interests. It is set there to pursue the interests of Nigeria. So if the Senate says that it's going to ambush any list sent to it by the presidency, it's not ambushing the presidency, it's ambushing our democracy, it's ambushing the country. It will reveal the same. That will be an open witch hunt that you will find very, very, very nasty. So the people in the Senate should be careful. They should be careful because everybody has been saying we want the cabinet, we want the cabinet, we want the cabinet list. If he brings the cabinet list, that is the president brings the cabinet list and Saraki's fellow travelers say, okay, we are going to stalemate the process. You are not stalemating the president. You are stalemating the capacity for us to revive the economy, the capacity to push ahead social programs, education, infrastructure, and all of that. You are working against the people.
What about political parties? Because his party has also been mentioned in some quarters. Even though the presidency Dr. Saraki, even though the presidency has dissociated itself from that particular trial, the party hasn't said anything, and everyone keeps going back. And I'm quite sure, with a smile on your face, where we're headed. Looking at how he emerged and the party played in all of that, would it be wrong of those who are thinking that the party also has a hand in all of this?
Well, people have been saying that the man went through the back door to get legality to become Senate president, and therefore people are coming after him because of that. Those issues are very interesting. They make the discussion of politics really, really, really exciting. But how do you now say because he got into the presidency, the Senate presidency by how would I call it? Pushing aside some party wheel horses. How do you say because of that we should not concentrate on the charges before him? It's apples and oranges. Politics is a dynamic thing. Things keep happening all the time.
If we look at the dynamics,
so you can say, really, it is because he did that, and so his political enemies are coming after him. Maybe not. But if you live in glass houses, they say, don't throw stone.
In trying not to make A, very powerful.
Yes.
By B trying to make A not to be too powerful.
Yes.
Doesn't that also put fear in others that when B succeeds, B becomes too powerful to the extent that he's doing that or wielding such powers at the detriment of C, the people?
Of course, C, the people, are always there to watch A and B. The point is that from the beginning of time, life, according to Thomas Hobbes, has been about the pursuit of power. And if A is able to outwit B and gets the people to be behind A will continue to do it. The point is that A or B must be careful not to be sure that C does not come away from his own side. So it's a chess game. It's always a chess game in politics. And those politicians, when they play it, they always know that if they overplay their hands, they will get burned by the people. So it's always a chess game. It's an interesting game.
You still think that people, still think that the people have the power?
The people have the power. The people always have the power. But the people's power is usually defined by an elite. You go through history. The people's power always defined by an elite. That's why you even have, when there's a revolution, you also have the expression, the revolutionary elite. The people who lead the people, the people who lead the people. So in a sense, the people always want to be led.
2019, which we also discussed with George A.K., and we're already one quarter out of 16 quarters in a 4-year term.
Yes.
Does that worry you that if people are talking that this is about what's to come in 2019, even though, well, they know that definitely they have a case, he has a case to answer, he will be there, but isn't that too early in the day for politics to be dropped in the arena?
I would really like that once the election is over, everybody concentrates on governance.
I mean, you lived in the United States.
Yes.
It doesn't work that way.
No, don't say that.
No, it doesn't work that way openly. You don't get to see it in an open arena.
If there's conflict, it was so in the case of Bush. When Bush became president the first time, people started going after him. So it's like that in politics. The time of Theodore Roosevelt, it was like that. When his successor Taft took over from Theodore Roosevelt, it was Theodore Roosevelt who started playing politics and ran away from the country because his own men who were in his regime, who were in Taft's regime, started saying that Taft was not playing to Roosevelt's game. So Roosevelt was in Africa. So what happens basically is that once you are a political animal, you're always a political animal. Once an election is over, another election, another political phase begins. Politics does not go to sleep. It's like the breath of life.
Mr. Omatseye, you certainly know what I mean, because I quite understand
I know what you mean.
The politics.
You're talking of 2019.
I quite understand the United States politics.
Politics already started.
Good.
It didn't even end. Before 2020, where are we now? This year, 2015. Before 2015 election ended, 2019 had already begun.
What good?
I can mention some of them.
What good do we get as a country from all of that? That's the question.
Politics is not bad. It's whether you play it well. You play it in the interest of the people. There's nothing bad about it. If not, we won't have elections, we won't have governors, we won't have legislators. All we want is politics of decency. Politics of patriotism, politics of goodwill and good sense.
And you think the politics being played out now is politics of patriotism, politics that will do the people good?
Well, the politics in Nigeria has never been mature. We have to take that. That's never been mature.
Are we moving towards that maturity?
Well, we are seeing some signs, but we are seeing some signs. If we follow the rule of law.
Very quickly before we let you off, it might be interesting if you could just point one or two of these signs.
That we're going the right way. I mean, the insistence on the rule of law, for instance, is a good one. Because there's no democracy without law.
I'm looking at some of the comments here, and Kende is saying that selective anti-corruption drive will not help us.
Of course, it will not help us.
He believes this is selective.
He believes he's entitled to his opinion.
He is entitled to his opinion. But
yes, I'm entitled to my own opinion.
Do you think this is selective?
This selective, we can't say yet. It's just begun. As you said, this is just one of 16 quarters. Let's see how it goes.
It's just a long way to go.
It's a long way to go. We don't just make judgments. It's because the Senate president and because of the way he got into power and so on. So anything that happens is seen as politics. One is that politics is in everything. It's in law. It's in, even as we sit here, there's politics. The way you ask your questions, the kind of questions you throw to me. There's politics. The point is, where are we going with it?
And you say it's just like a game of chess. The first move has been made.
Yes.
Let's see what they respond. Whether they're going to move the pawn, whether it's the knight.
Yes.
Certainly they know.
You know this game.
They know the castle, the rook, they stay.
Yes,
because that's the house.
Yes.
That's the people.
Yes. Yes. The rook. If they stay in the rook, hope they don't get hooked.
Well, that's what they call the night fog.
Yes,
Samuel
exactly.
Omatseye, we'd like to thank you so much for spending time with us. He's the chairman, editorial board of Nations newspaper, also a columnist for the same daily as well as so many other dailies. Sunrise Daily, we'll be back in a moment to look at another perspective on the same matters.